All right, looks like we're live. Hope y'all had a wonderful day on this Sunday, July 16th, 2020. It's 9:39 p.m. Anyway, I was going to put on there skip to 5 minutes, but now I guess it's skipped to 7 minutes. Let me see if I can put that on there. You gonna let me? All right. All right. So anyway, welcome. That skip to what? 7 minutes. There it goes. All right. What? Try third time. That is just so stupid. All right. Anyway. So, knocked out twice already. So that's not a good sign. The weather is perfectly clear here. I don't know what it is. Good signal. Not sure what's going on. Anyway. But what I was saying is, I was trying to come on a little early tonight. I guess that didn't work out, did it? Anyway, I'm not going to be on too long tonight. I'm in the middle of something right now. I got some stuff going on. I got a busy week ahead. I got all kinds of stuff going on. So anyway, I'm just going to come on a little Sunday chat. Oh, wait, I'm reading this. Actually, the title says a little Sunday night chat, an upcoming study. It should say and upcoming study, but again, I can get by with an upcoming study, which makes it sound like one, but there's an upcoming study. Anyway, but what the plans are for this week, what the plans are is we're going to do some short studies again, back to that. And what I call a short study is a one-day study of certain things. I really like those two. I guess I like both. I like mixing it up. I like one evening study, something where you study the whole thing in one night and it's over. And then I also like studies that last a few weeks. I guess I like both. I like to mix it up. And so now, next, we're going to get back to some what I call short studies. And then, which will probably have to do with the new, well, I can't even say that. They have to do with the New Testament, but there's other. I just got knocked off again. What just happened? Why is my screen is black and there's the death swirl. Let me show you. Oh man, is this even happening? Hold on a second. What's this called? Isn't that called the isn't it? Anyway, I don't even know if this thing's hooked up, to be honest. My timer's still going. 10 minutes, 12 seconds, 14 seconds, 15. Okay. Something's happening. I don't know. But anyway, seems like things are going a little haywire. Right? But that's okay because I didn't have a whole lot planned. Just going to tell you that Sunday nights sometimes it's just usually there's nobody shows up on Sunday nights. Sunday nights are notorious for nobody coming in. So I don't plan a whole lot on Sunday nights. Just a little. Usually what it is, I'll tell you what's on the upcoming for this week. It's usually a sneak peek at the week. You know what I'm saying? Because usually nobody comes in Sunday. So, and that's fine. I totally get that. People are ending their weekend and all that, getting ready for the weekend. That's what I'm doing too. I'm getting ready for this week. I got my protest coming up. I got a lot going on. I got canned pickles this week. Canned cucumbers into pickles, I should say. I'm setting up my garage sale, and that's kind of been on hold now for about the last week or so. So anyway, I got to get back to doing that. So I got a lot going on. Like I said, it's I got a lot going on. So anyway, we're going to do short studies, and then we're going to get into what I want to do is oh, there's my picture just came back. I don't know what happened. Have I been out the whole time? Oh, well. Who cares? I really don't. Now, if I was trying to do something really important, this would just it just drives me through the roof. But I don't really care. I'm not going to be on here long. Important. Sunday, nobody comes in anyway. But anyway, what I'd like to do is get together a study of progression of the Gospels. Well, as a matter of fact, I was just thinking a little bit ago, because I've been wanting to do it for a while, progression of the Gospels from Mark to Matthew and Luke, and then to John, like how just Jesus like morphs into all these different, it's a completely different person by the end. But then I thought, you know, in order to do that, you'd almost have to start Paul and Paul's letters, because Paul's letters came first. And so Paul's got a completely different Jesus that's in the Gospels, and Paul's Jesus was first. And then, of course, Mark, who's not a disciple or didn't know Jesus or anything, as we know of, Mark, who wrote the Gospel, Mark was a traveling companion of Paul. So then Paul writes all these letters. Christianity is getting popular. Where they are, and so Paul's dead and gone. His letters are written. The time the Gospels start to get written. And who writes the first one? Mark. Who's Mark? He's not a disciple. There's nothing about him in the Bible. Right. Well, who Mark was, he was a traveling companion. Paul wrote his Jesus first, then Mark writes the gospel. Just a simple gospel. It's a simple man, Jesus, who really goes against the leadership of the temple and of, well, the Jews, really the leaders, the ones in charge. And that's really what caused his death. He went up against them, and that's it. He was dead, he was buried, and the end. Then you get to, well, you know how the story goes. And you get to Matthew, and Matthew's got this genealogy that makes no sense, doesn't line up to nothing. How Jesus came from, I guess, King David. Anyway, then Luke, I think, tops that by going all the way from Adam and Eve. Or vice versa. Either way, neither one of them are correct. Neither one of them line up with the Testament as far as bloodlines and all that kind of stuff. So, anyway. And then you get to John, and John's just full-blown, Jesus is God. Jesus is everything. He's the Word. He's the God. He's God before God was God. And it's just like, wow, what a progression from Paul. You know, and I would challenge anybody to go into the four Gospels. No, I'm sorry, into the three Gospels, the Synoptic Gospels. Because John wasn't written until, I mean, you could say probably almost 100 years after Jesus, 70 to 100 years after Jesus died. Writers are going, Christianity's up and running, churches are up and running. Then Mark writes his in the 70s or 80s, and then into the turn of the century, then you got John. So for all them decades and decades and decades, you have, for decades, you've got people really going off of Paul only. And then it gets to be a long time. Maybe I don't even know when the Gospels end up being surfacing. And they don't know they're writing a part of the Bible or Gospels or anything. They are just writing their stories about a guy named Jesus. So, and that really could kind of go for most of the books in the Bible. They don't know they're writing they're writing letters that people did. But it's kind of funny because in the Synoptic Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, not once does Jesus say, I'm God, or even I'm the Messiah, or anything like that. And by the way, if you're God, you can't be the Messiah. And if you're the Messiah, you can't be God in the Old Testament. And in the New Testament, too. That argues. they're not one and the same. They're two complete. One would cancel the other. You know. So anyway, yeah, I really got knocked off. So anyway, I'm not gonna be on here long. Like I said, Sunday usually nobody comes in. It's almost guaranteed. And I got a bunch of stuff I'm doing. I heard my laundry buzzer go off. But anyway, I'm gonna get back to what I'm doing. There goes my picture again. Wow, what just happened? Weird. Anyway. It seems like technology is messing with me tonight. But anyway, did a lot of work in my yard today, busted my butt. Lots and lots of chores. So anyway, I'm tired and I'm gonna finish what I'm doing and hit the hay. And anyway, I'm gonna say goodnight. And like I said, there'll be short studies this week. Now it depends on how tomorrow. What we're gonna, I don't know which short study we do yet. I don't know. Depends to wrap something up. But anyway, so that is the plan, Stan. Make a new plan, Stan. No need to be coy, Roy. I'm going to sign off and get back to what I'm doing. And wish everybody a happy... Well, hey, Grace. Yeah, green salutations. Have a good night. Well, I didn't even see you sneak in. You were so quiet. Like a church mouse. Anyway, good to see you tonight, Grace. I just said, usually Sunday nights, you don't have anybody come in. And I got knocked off for 7 minutes. I got knocked off right as I came in. I think I got 2 words out, got off for 3-4 minutes. Got back on, got 2 more words, got knocked off. That's you, quiet as a mouse? Yep. Yep. Even hear you come in. Then they say it's quiet as a church mouse. Because you could say or quiet as a library mouse. That's what they should have said. You don't really have to be as quiet as much in the because you're more quiet in a library than you are in a church. Let's get real. I never really yell and sing and stuff and talk loud in a library. Technology keeps getting better. Yeah, this is wonderful. This is wonderful. And so my 3G phone worked better than my 5G or whatever the heck my new one I got. And you know what? Ever since I updated, it's never worked good. It's just crap. It's like a dial up in the 90s. You know what I mean? Ridiculous. The only thing they fixed is it doesn't go. It's the only thing it's missing. Creepy noise it'd make. As quiet as a female church mouse. Sit down and shut up. Oh, that's right. The boy mouses can be loud as they want. You know what's funny? Speaking of that, so yeah, so a woman does not have to be quiet in church. You know why? You know why? Paul said, and we all follow Paul, right? Paul said, I just totally lost my train of thought because I'm reading. But Paul said, remember, okay, train of thought back on track. No, it just says something like, I don't know, woman. Anyway, people say women have to be quiet in church. I'm not gonna. Actually, I'm not sure. But I'm going to tell you, that's not what Paul said. I mean, he might have said it, but out of the other side of his mouth, guess what he said? Oh, Paul totally hated women. He has a totally never been married. You know what I mean? Hello. Back then, a Jewish man married when it's like 16 or something. I mean, there's just like no exceptions. Your 40s, never married. Anyway, no, even good. Different story, different day. Anyway, what Paul said was a woman has to, what do you say? A woman has to cover her head when she prophesies in church. Or at least prophesy. What did it say here? Let's find out. It says a woman has to cover her head when she prophesies. I don't know if it's in church or where it is. Yeah. My phone's dead. I have to look it up. Prophecy. Oh, here. I don't need the phone. Computer. Women must cover their head when they prophesy. When they prophesy. Bam. When she prophesies, there you go. Bam. All right. When she prays or prophesies, she must cover her head. Paul teaches that as the biblical passage progresses, see that? Progresses, it morphs into something else. It says, as the biblical passage progresses, Paul teaches that God's order for the woman is opposite from his order from the man. When she prays or prophesies, she must cover her head. If she does not, she disgraces her man. Okay, maybe it's not in church. Maybe she does this. She should shut up in church. Many, if that's what you want to do. But she can prophesy. Because it's so funny. I can't remember a guy's name. He does these shorts. He takes videos off of like TikTok, these little short ones. And there's a guy. Nice guy's like, yeah, he's from down south. Yeah, I don't know what the heck's with these women who think that they're prophets. A woman can never prophesy. And then he goes, nope, wrong. Paul actually teaches she prays or prophesies, she must cover her head. So there are female prophets. Not that I want to be one. Oh, heck no. I know these guys and women, it's so hard to be a prophet. And that's not even how prophets are made. Prophets are always, I think they're always reluctant. I mean, really bad. Like, always back to Moses or whatever. Maybe even, they don't want to be prophets. They're forced into it. Jonah, I mean, go all the way down the line. They don't want to be prophets, but these people on YouTube, they want to be a prophet. They crap against the wall every day to see if anything can stick, and it doesn't. It's just like fire diarrhea, man. It just all slides down. Not one thing sticks. And it's kind of amazing how somebody can make 2,000 prophecies and never one come true. I mean, mathematically, you'd think to stay mathematically odds, something would have to come true. But it's almost like the forces of God are making nothing he says ever comes true. Yes. But keep throwing crap at the wall and nothing sticking. And 2,000 prophecies. It's got 4,000 videos. 2,000 prophecies, and you've never hit one yet. Like I said, Old Testament would be under a pile of rocks. First one you get wrong, you're done. But because of man's laws and all that other civilization stuff, nobody can do that. You can't, it's against law. Outside of a prophet, there were female leaders such as Deborah. Actually, yes. And as a matter of fact, somebody did a video on that. How many? Oh my goodness! I see eyeballs coming through my field. I don't know what kind of. Oh, there's another. Well, these cats are coming from back at my pond. Wow, that's crazy, man. They're coming up. That's kind of funny. A line of cats are coming up to eat. Oh, they don't know I moved. They're coming up by my door. They got fleas really bad, so I had to move. There's a black cat looking all over the place. Now, my cat is out there. Bosco's out there trying to show the cats where the food's at. He's friends with the wild cats. He's trying to show where the new food is at. The new place for the food. But anyway, yeah, in the Bible, people don't just keep trying and God makes them a prophet. Don't work like that. I'm hoping that black cat finds new food. What I should do is put some tuna in the food because that will attract them. I guess they can smell it for up here. I moved a little bit at a time, like feet at a time. And they're going one direction. Anyway. All these fake YouTube prophets should do some research. If they did, they sure would not be trying to play the prophet. I know. These churches have relics for a reason. Yep. That's why and this is why what I believe about the Ten Commandments. I've about the Ten Commandments for a long time. I've got plaques on my door, on my gate, and all that. I got 10 Commandments, and I follow them, the best I can. And I think I do okay. But anyway, I do think that they're a good set of rules when you are establishing a society, and that's exactly what they were doing. When God brought them out of Egypt after 400 years, these people were Egyptians, basically Egyptians. You know what I mean? It's like coming Americans out of America after 400 years. We've only been here, 250 years? Go wait another 150 and bring all the out of, anyway, it's just, you know what I mean? You've acclimated. You're now, you're basically an Egyptian. So anyway, he brings out all the and they were not just Egyptian, but they were slaves, and so they had to work 7 days a week. They were mistreated and all other things. So they weren't following their own rules anymore. They've been hundreds of years they followed their own rules. Now they're following the Egyptians' rules, and they have to work 7 days a week. They have to do everything things. Worshipping other gods, worshipping statues. They're basically Egyptians. So the book cat found the food, and that's good. So they've acclimated, you know what I mean? And really that's what people, when they come to America, really do assimilate, you know what I mean? Like they try to come and speak English so they can, better serve themselves, you know what I mean? And but anyway, so you kind of acclimate or whatever. So anybody that comes from different countries, just by the end of their little lifetime, they're a completely different person. So anything they had being Israelites or anything like that has been washed away. All their traditions, all their this and that. So we are brought out to the desert, out of Egypt, wandering through the wilderness. That's when God says, okay, these people to himself, wow, these people are pretty assimilated to the Egyptian lifestyle. I'm going to have to. So he does. He gets, according to the Bible, he gives the 10 Commandments to Moses, and this is going to establish rules for a new society, God's society, according to God's rules. So the first one is You have no other gods before me, which you better hope you got the right God if that's what you're going to do. Anyway, number 2 is and stuff like that. Number 3 is, I think, using the God's name in vain. Number 4 is the Sabbath. And the Sabbath, I believe, just break them of that set of working every day. I believe it's for every human being to take one day off a week, including the animals, the working versus your meals, whatever. Everybody should have a day off every week. And I think that's what the Sabbath is meant for. It's not meant for all these little petty rules they put on it. I mean, there's the ultra orthodox that want to flip up a light switch. And that's not what it's saying is, you as Egyptians, you had to work every day. You never got a day off. As God's people, my people, you are going to have a day off every week. And we're going to force you to have a day off until you get used to it. And I don't work anymore. I don't get up to alarm clock 7 days a week. But when I did, it was so hard on me. And when I took one day off a week, rested one day a week, it was life-changing. It was life-changing for me. Spencer loved it. It was one day where I didn't have to be alone all day, going to work. Finally, just a complete day of 20, complete Saturday was our rest. It's like I couldn't tell myself to take off, but if God tells me to take it up, then I will. It's up to me. No, I was working 7 days a week when it's up to me, but when it's up to God, I take a day off and rest. Now that I don't work anymore, I don't get up to alarm clock. I don't work anymore. So Sabbaths aren't really a big deal. I mean, I rest every day, sleep and rest whenever I want. I don't have to get up anymore. I'm retired. But when I was working, it was the best. It was the best. It was like one of those. It was like the only commandment I really wasn't aware of when I was aware and started following it, taking one day off a week. And I worked hard, you guys. I mean, I moved furniture, heavy, hard labor I was working. And like I said, life-changing. It was life-changing. It was made my life so much better. Take a day off. But I haven't worked for 5 years. It's not really a big deal anymore. But I still suggest anybody that works, take one day off a week where you don't have to get up to alarm clock and bust your butt. No. Oh, no flushing the toilet on Sabbath? Is some of them do? No flushing? That's I've heard no light switch on because that causes somebody to work somewhere. I don't know. The machine making it go. Give the light switch a rest. That light switch worked its butt off all week. You're making it work on it. Anyway. And then that's the 4th one. The 5th is honor your mother and your father. And that says, and nobody ever says the rest of it. It's like, honor your mother and your father so the days of your life would be long. Or something like that. I might not have it word for word. None of this, I'm just going off the top of my head. Because after that, I know the other 4. The first 4 are between you and God. 1 is you and your parents. 6 through 10 is between society. And that's how God set it up. New society would have some rules. They didn't have no rules. Working every day, going insane. Anyway. And then 6, 7, 8. Now, I'll tell you, I know 10. 10 is thou shalt not covet. And that's good. Don't be eyeing up your neighbor's stuff and wanting it all the time and stuff. If you want something, get it yourself. Thou shalt not steal is one of them. thou shalt not false witness is another. Thou shalt not murder. Let's see, covet and adultery. Don't commit adultery. And that's the Ten Commandments. And I think that was a good way to set up society. Um, and I think the reason that they had the death penalty, they were capital offenses. If you broke one of the 10 Commandments, it was a capital offense. You had to be murdered according to God's layout there, His plan. Now, is that going to be forever? No, it was just going to. It was just to set the pace for the next many generations to come, of what society rules should be like. You know what I mean? So yeah, for a while, people were killed when they did it because it sent a strong message for other people to think twice about breaking these commandments. And so for a long time, people didn't. They paid a heavy price of their life if they did. So yeah, I think they're good rules. Like I said, I don't work every day anymore, so yeah. I see a use in every commandment. I see a good purpose. I don't believe anybody's going to burn in hell ever. I don't believe in hell after I've studied where hell was developed from. The mythology of hell, where it originates from. But I do believe that the Ten Commandments are there to make your life better. And living with the Ten Commandments definitely made my life better. So if I break commandments and you break commandments, and anybody that breaks commandments, you get punished here and now on earth in this lifetime. I think the commandments, like I say, you commit adultery, there's going to be consequences in your lifetime. You commit murder, there's going to be consequences in your lifetime. All of it. Coveting, probably consequences. Thou shalt not steal, bear false witness against your neighbor. All those have consequences. And I think that's why it's a good thing to follow them. Like I said, I don't work 6 days, and then take off one or whatever. To me, it's kind of been silly when I rest every day. But you know what? Again, I don't work 6 days anymore. So, but I do like putting some time away each week to just relax and study and all that stuff. It's a good habit. I like having a routine. I like the routine. Oh, if you can't push the elevator button, how can you flush? Yes, actually, that I have heard of. They will not ride an elevator or push the elevator button. As a matter of fact, they do not. They won't run a coffee maker. They won't even make a pot of coffee because it's electricity. They will not use electricity. So no flipping on a light. These are the ultra-Orthodox Jews. Not flipping on a light, not flipping on a coffee maker, none of that. And what I like about over in Israel, they still observe the Sabbath. I like that. Your community is forcing everybody to take a day off of work each week. Because I'm telling you, I did it for years and years. Probably for 25 years, I worked 7 days a week. Even when I worked in a doctor's office, I worked in family practice 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. I worked urgent care many times during the week. At nights, I went straight from my 8-hour job to the night urgent care. And on weekends, I worked emergency rooms. You know what I mean? And I remember looking at my calendar with all the places I was working. I remember thinking, wow, it would be like, I don't see in the next 2 months even a day off. So I've been a workaholic my whole life, and it was like life-changing when I finally got a day off. So, yeah, I definitely, if you can swing it, it's going to benefit you. God's going to, if you keep working 7 days a week, it's just good advice to take a day off. It's let your body and your mind rest. Let everything rest. It's like it's a good idea to honor your mother and your father. It's a good idea to not steal and not covet and don't commit adultery. These are rules to make your life better. Not so that God can strike you with a lightning bolt. You know what I mean? Many people who say they put their rest in Jesus every day are still denying others of their Sabbath by going on their shopping sprees and restaurant trips daily. Yes, exactly. And that's what I like about Israel is they shut down on Friday night at sunset. It's done. And sunset Saturday night. And some are close till Sunday. But good for them because nobody's forced to work 7 days a week that way. You got most places are open every single day, and yeah, it's just it's so hard. Like I said, I can't even tell you how can't even tell you how life changing it was to start resting 1 day a week when I was getting up alarm clock 7 days. But anyway, and I don't think it has to be on the same day. It doesn't have to be on a Friday night to Saturday. It have to be nothing. You can have it on a Monday, have it on Wednesday, whatever. Maybe it alternates. Just try to get a day's rest here or there. You know what I mean? Once a week, getting a day off is great. I think that's enough. It's adequate. It's like I said, not that, but you know, I mean, some people work and now they all of a sudden their kids are growing, gone, and you know what I mean. It happens to a lot of people. Before you know it, their kids are grown up and time has passed you by from all this working. And they say all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, right? All right. So, all right. Yeah. So it's First Corinthians, as he says. First Corinthians says, and it is shameful for a woman to have her hair cut or shaved off. She should cover her head. First Corinthians 14:34. Women are to be silent in the churches. If a wife will not cover her head, then she should cut. Whoa, it says, for if a wife will not cover her head, then she should cut her hair short. Hi-oh. But since it is disgraceful for a wife to cut off her hair or shave her head, wow, they don't know what they want you to do. Are you not going to cover it? Fine, I'll shave your head. Oh, wait, I can't shave your head. That's shameful. Okay, fine, I'm not going to shave your head. You know, we should go back in these letters of Paul. They're just mind-blowing to me. And you know what's funny? They were never meant to be a religion. They were letters to a church. Somebody's letters, a guy's letters to a church. It's like taking somebody's military letters and turning it into the Bible. I mean, they're letters to a church. They're not. Anyway, and what Paul's letters were just his advice how to correct the issues that are going on in these churches. And so really they're just answers addressing to problems that are in the church. But anyway, yeah, to rest in Jesus. Yeah, but what about other people who have to work every day? That makes no sense. And you know what? Long decades after Jesus died, Paul and Peter and everybody else is still observing the Sabbath. Didn't they rest in Jesus on the cross? Didn't they rest in Jesus' blood? Or bathe in it, or whatever they're supposed to do? Why didn't the disciples do it, huh? Why weren't they resting in Jesus and forgetting about the Sabbath? It's not have got the memo, the email, the text. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get off here because I got to go back to doing my stuff and all that. So anyway, excuse me, I'm tired. Didn't any of them in his blood? No, the disciples did not. They didn't drink his blood. Well, supper, according to John, that's the difference between the synoptic gospels and John. John is just writing his doggone Jesus, you know what I mean? His own Jesus. That's what he's writing. Like completely. More Christianity, yeah. Crazy. Eat my flesh and drink my blood. What? The whole Torah tells you don't go nowhere near that blood. I mean, is there any blood? They gotta go sit tent. Oh, now you're supposed to eat it and drink it, and roll in it, and bathe in it, and washing it? Washing the blood? But you told us, if anybody even touches one drop of blood, they have to get away from everybody, go wash your clothes, take a bath, stay away from everybody until the next day. But all of a sudden, it's okay to drink it and eat it and bathe in it? You know what always comes to mind? That picture of Eminem in a bathtub full of blood. Slim Shady. I think Madonna did it too. Did you guys hear Madonna was found dead and then she came back to life? You see that virgin? Just like a virgin. She's dead and now she's alive. It's a miracle. Madonna. She's alive. Yeah, oh, you didn't hear that? Yeah. She was dead, and then she came back to life. Well, they found her just in time. She was dead. But then they brought her back to life, and now all the concerts are canceled from here on out. Oh, wait, did she die? How come we can't see her? Oh, my goodness, have you seen a picture of her? Yamahama Fright Night. Not good. So, yes, she was found dead, unresponsive. I can't remember by who. It was the other day, a couple days ago. They brought her back to. Yeah, she is exactly. That's what I'm getting at. She's the resurrected Madonna. Yes. Like a Virgin Mary coming back to that. Yeah, she's the resurrected Madonna. Yes. So, in case anybody stopped worshiping her like decades ago, which they obviously did, she's trying to stay relevant. Well, actually, handlers are trying to keep her relevant, and it's hard. So they had to resurrect her from the dead to keep her relevant. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Here, I heard it on the double check, okay? Because this was on the radio. Like, I don't know. When did I go into town? I don't know. That's Friday, I think. What day is it? It's Sunday. Maybe it's last Thursday. I don't know. Let's see. Madonna. Yeah, she was dead. Now she's resurrected. She's back, but not alive enough. Oh, guess what they're saying now? She was revived by Narcan. That means she drug overdosed. That's what they give to people who overdose on drugs. Narcan. Or Narcan, whatever it is. I'll show you. Madonna hit with false claim she's clinically brain dead after health scare. Well, that's a matter of opinion. Madonna's family feared that they may lose her after the singer was rushed to ICU. That was 2 weeks ago. Wow. Seemed like a couple days ago. Madonna was revived by Narcan injection, had to be brought back from the dead. Madonna leaves strict rules for how to manage her legacy after a near death. Yeah. It's not what she looks like, actually. Anyway, yeah, she was dead. Now she's alive. Narcan is just a coincidence in this case. Well, I think that's for only for drug overdose. I don't think they use it for anything else. So somebody found her on the floor or something. I don't know. Her kid or boyfriend. She has like teenage boyfriends, I think. All right. Fabricated headline. Okay, so TMZ said that she was clinically brain dead. You know, TMZ is right. It's a 10-mile zone. TMZ 10-mile zone. They're working for the controllers, and they're the first one. Actually, listen to what they say because they know what's happened before it happens. All right. They don't know if that was June 29th. So it was a few weeks ago. She was close to that, but she's in the ICU and she's going to be just fine, but no more cancer, no more concerts. It's a miracle. Madonna was resurrected. Yes. So I'm sure there will be many statues erected where everybody can go worship the statue. I'm sure it will be gold. And so that more reasons for, right? Enough already. Okay, then one needs to ask, how many years has she been brain dead? Well, that's what I said. How do you know? Because I thought she was, like, decades ago. So how are we going to know if she's really brain dead or not? Because I think she already was. Well, you know, you're never really brain dead. I'm just gonna, in my opinion. Because I'm gonna say one more thing and then I'm gonna get off here. In my opinion. Well, more than my opinion, but take it away. Okay, so when you die, well, no, when you're in a bad accident or something bad happens to you, but you're kind of young and healthy and you're a donor, well, what happens is they give you injections to paralyze you, and then they take your organs out and give it to somebody else, and then let you die. But the reason they're giving you something to paralyze you is because you will fight back otherwise. Wait a minute. If you're brain dead, why are you fighting back when they're trying to cut your kidneys out? You know what I mean? Anyway, another story for another day. Check into that. Harvesting organs, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Ask them why you have to give them a paralyzing agent if they're brain dead. Why would they fight back? Anyway, yep. So Madonna, she'll be just fine. Don't you worry. Someday she may even do concerts again. My cousin is a cadaver nurse. One that rushes to a body for harvesting. Really? Wow. Ask her if they have to give them a paralyzing agent before they cut their organs out. And if so, why? I mean, if you're brain dead, you're not going to fight back. I mean, if I'm unconscious, listen, if I get knocked unconscious and you cut my kidneys out, I'm not going to know. I'm unconscious. But if I'm in an induced coma and somebody tries cutting my organs out, I'm gonna know about it. Oh, but don't worry. They'll give me a paralyzing agent so I can't grab the scalpel and say, what the heck are you doing? Anyway, so something to think about. Paralyzing agent, check into it. I have, she arrives at the hospital just before the plug is pulled. Wow. Oh, yeah. Yep. They don't pull the plug in front of you. In fact, it's not even a plug, it's just a button. Yep. Yeah. They tell you to say goodbye, and then they have you leave the room. They don't like the button, and then watch you go flatline. Ain't no flatlining. Oh, heck no. Listen, you flatline, all your organs are worthless. That's right. Millions of dollars of organs inside you are shot the second the person takes their last breath. Junk. That should be thrown in a well, actually, that would just leave them in you and bury you with them. That's right. You got to be breathing and all that good stuff in order for that kidney to be okay. Because if I die within 5 seconds, my organs are no good. So when they pull the plug, yeah, then they make you leave and go home, and they'll take care. They'll take it from here. Yeah. Anyway, sad deal, folks. All for profit. That's what it's all about, profit. Anyway, sad part of it. You know, over time, like I was reading those causes of death last night from the 1800s, early 1900s. Nobody was killed in a car accident until the 1960s. Unless you got run over by a car. Children got run over. No, I have not heard what they're doing. No, I haven't heard that. Anyway, I totally spaced what I was saying. Manufacturing artificial blood. Wow. That is weird. That is weird. No, I've not heard of that. That is really weird. I don't want none of that. Anyway. All right, well, I'll just move on and say good night. And that is really weird, Grace. I imagine how they would do that. I worked for many years in a doctor's office. Did a lot of hematology, studying blood under a microscope. And I mean, you got white cells, you got red cells, you got plasma. I just can't imagine. I've seen blood under a microscope for years. I looked at it under a microscope. We did differential smears, all that kind of stuff. I know what blood looks like under a microscope, and I can't imagine anybody duplicating that. I really can't. All the more reason to get and stay healthy. That's right. Get healthy, folks. Last thing you want to do is be tied to the beast medical system. Yep, take care of yourself. Eat good. Get healthy. And stay healthy. That's right. The only way to win the game is to not play at all. The only way you're going to win the medical field is by not playing. Stay healthy. You don't have to play. You don't have to play the game if you don't have to walk in the door. Now, emergencies are another thing. That's what I was saying earlier. Those causes of death from the car accidents and stuff. You could see in the 1950s and 60s, the people started getting killed inside the cars from going faster and faster. And then what they do in the 70s, they came out with seat belts. I remember they started recommending you had to wear seat belts. And so, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, some things have gotten better, but I'm telling you, emergency care, you're and same with animals, veterinary care. Listen, if there's an emergency, broken bone, whatever, yeah, emergencies, yeah, great, that's what they're good for. But and I tell you what, preventative care, wow, really? Anyway, I just gotta stop. I'm so glad I'm not in the medical field anymore. Oh my goodness. Yes, so get healthy, eat good, take your vitamins, all that kind of stuff. It's all about what goes in your mouth, what goes in your body. Yeah, preventative. Yeah. I'll tell you what preventative medicine is. Eat good, eat healthy, stay away from the sugar. Try to keep your weight down. And all has to do with what goes in your mouth. Much. 99% of the time, I think, in my opinion, anyway. Shut off the mainstream media, for goodness sakes. People who sit there and ride the news, and you don't think you're being brainwashed and tricked into thinking, oh my goodness, shut it off. Who cares what they say about anything? Shut it up. Again, the only way to win the game is to not play it. The only way to win the mainstream media is to not even watch it. There you go. Bam. All right. Thank you, Father, for gathering us once again. Praise to you. See the big spider? That big glowing thing, spider. Did you see that? Oh, there's a spider. Well, thank you. I love you too, Grace. Thank you guys for coming in, and I hope to see you tomorrow night or whenever. Have a good rest of the evening. Have an awesome Monday. Tomorrow, 7/17. All right. Good night, everybody. Yep. Love, prayers, and blessings to all from Grace. Anyway, love you guys. Peace out. Shalom. And good night. Or goodbye. Peace. And all that.